really proud of this team tonight. Let me say a couple things. Just having the opportunity to come back to home and play. I want to say thank you to all the fans, for everybody that came out and supported this football team, the red out, the atmosphere. I just really appreciate the support that we receive here at home. And it was great to see. Coming out, the challenge we had was coming off a loss at Auburn where I felt like we had done some really good things. But I think the challenge that we continually talked about is how we have to keep getting better. And I thought this football team got better tonight. This was the most complete game that we've played for 60 minutes the entire season. Probably similar to what we did with North Texas and Lafayette. The only difference was when our twos went in at the end of the game, they finished the game. We've talked to them about it's not a participation sport, and you know what? If you go out there and represent this team, you've got a standard that you have to uphold. I thought that the defense played a great football game, challenged the football team that we needed to outrush them, where we rushed for 256 tonight, and they rushed for 81. We talked about in order for us to outrush them, we were going to have corners we're going to have to tackle, safeties we're going to have to tackle, receivers we're going to have to block. It was going to take a total team effort. We came out and were able to run the ball the first two series of the game, and then they just started putting everybody on the line of scrimmage and blitzing us like crazy. So we started throwing the ball down the field a little bit more, and some guys went down the field and made some great plays for us. But I thought the defense played a great game, created 5 turnovers. They only had 1 turnover coming into this game in 4 games. They've had turned the ball over 1 time. They had 5 tonight. But I thought our defense played really hard. I thought Manny Diaz and the defensive staff put together a phenomenal plan, and I thought the players went out and executed it. I think there's just really a huge buy-in factor right now on the defensive side of the ball, and those guys are gaining confidence each and every game. And it's nice to see what they're doing. The fun part for me of this game was Manny Diaz and I met this morning, and he told me he felt like they could block a field goal. We watched their field goal team, sat down, showed me where he thought the weakness was and what we were going to do, and said we're not going to waste it on an extra point. We're going to wait for a field goal. So when they kicked that first field goal, I was all eyes. I mean, I was excited to watch it, and it happened just like he drew it up. Xavier jumped there through the middle, did a great job. It was just really nice to see the whole thing happen. But like I said, defensively, great effort. Offensively, proud of the way they competed. Special teams, this was far and away our best game special teams-wise. We've put a lot of starters back on the special teams to try and make a real emphasis of it. And I thought that, like I said, it was the most complete game that we've played. Proud of this football team. We're 2-0 in the conference going into the open date. We'll give the team off on Sunday and Monday. I think they've earned that with the 6 weeks that we've had to get to this point with who we've had to play and the number of games we've had to play on the road. And then we'll come back on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and we'll put on full pads and we'll get after it a little bit. Have to get some people healthy. Paul Turner didn't play in this game. Blake Martin didn't play in this game. Bryson Abraham didn't play in this game. We had a number of guys that are injured and kind of nicked up, but really proud of the way some guys stepped up. So we got to get some guys healthy next week and hopefully get our twos polished up as we get ready for this second half run and the next 6 games, which are all conference games.
I know you go into every game expecting to win, but this lopsided victory, did y'all expect it? Did you see something on film that made you think that you could go out there and do this?
Yes and no. When I say that, you know what I keep making the battle cry, it's about a faceless opponent, and it's about how we play. This was our most complete game. I felt like we were the better football team, but did I project 5 turnovers and the big plays and being able to execute? Because we were hitting on all cylinders tonight. I mean, really, as an offense, as a defense, it was really working. And I thought Cody played a beautiful football game tonight. I thought he protected the ball, had that 1 interception on the second series of the game down on the 1-yard line, but I thought he protected the ball. I thought he did a really nice job running it. And so, no, I can't say I saw the film and thought it would be this lopsided, but do I think this team is capable of that? Yes. From what I saw at Lafayette and North Texas, I felt like if we can show up that way for the next 6 weeks from here, then we're going to have a chance because we're pretty good when we're playing with that type of energy and we're protecting the ball and following the plan. And I thought we not only played hard tonight, I thought we played smart.
20 points off the turnovers, and it was a recurring theme that every time you got a turnover, you kind of went for the jugular with either a big play or Cody's zone read. Just take me through the mindset there when you do generate a turnover, and then you're obviously calling the plays. So what were you trying to accomplish there? Was that your train of thought, is let's try to get them while they're down type of deal?
A couple times, but the other, I mean, the one where we ran Cody, we felt like it was there. The guy's upstairs in the box, and so you put that in your hip pocket. But what happens when you get a turnover? You got momentum. Your crowd's in it. Your players are juiced. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out. That's the last thing you want to do. And so you sit down and say, okay, what are the best plays we have right now that we think can go down the field and score? And some of them were passes and some of them were runs, and we were able to capitalize on some of those turnovers. I just frustrated a couple times we got down there, but I certainly don't want to be greedy. I mean, a couple times we had to settle for field goals, but I felt like the players still got to go execute it, and I thought they did a great job. But while momentum's on your side, that added strike while the iron's hot.
Follow up to that, last year I remember in El Paso when Brian was the quarterback, you had success with the zone read. He ran for 31 yards and 2 touchdowns, both off the zone read.
Right.
Did you go back to that at all? Because you obviously ran Cody more of the zone read than you have all year.
Well, Cody had -7 yards coming into this game on the season, and we were determined that we were going to get him to the positive mark. We were going to get him in the black instead of in the red, and so we figured we were going to run him as many times as we had to get him in the black. And he made a great play on the one. Then Sterling made a block down the field that got him into the end zone, but. We knew it was there, but I didn't come into this game and say I'm going to run Cody, but I knew that we had that when we needed it. That was the thing. What I wasn't going to just keep going to it, but when we needed something like that, I knew that we could go to it. And like I said, the players did a great job of executing it.
What are your overall thoughts just on stopping the run? You touched on it briefly, but holding Aaron Jones to just 68 yards.
I said it when I was messing with Tony Johnson and saying, Tony, are we scared? I mean, they're the number 21 team. He's the number 6 back in the country. He said, Coach, last week they were the number 5 team and they couldn't run it. I think our players are playing with a lot of confidence on the defensive side of the ball right now. Playing with a lot of confidence. I think the buy-in factor with this staff is huge. I think Manny Diaz and Blake Baker and Oscar Giles and Ronnie Bradford have done a great job, and there is a really special chemistry on that side of the ball right now, and the relationship between the coaches and the players, and I think it's really showing on the film. You got some guys like the Tony Johnsons and the Pinsons and some of the seniors, Lavander Liggins and some of those guys, Houston Bates, that are playing really well, but I think right now there's a really strong buy-in factor, and I think it's showing in the way those guys are playing on the field.
Marcus Gaines is a guy that, I mean, he's worked his tail off in the short time he's been here, gotten into the twos, got his first catch today, and what a way to go out.
Yeah, should have had 2. I mean, that's the unfortunate part. Should have had 2, but made a great catch down there on the goal line, throwing the one hand. I saw it on the jumbotron because where it was, I couldn't see it during the play from where I was standing, but saw it on the jumbo. Great play. Marcus Gaines is one of those freshmen. Marcus Gaines played a little bit more tonight. Dunn at corner played a little bit more tonight. Cooper at safety played a little bit more tonight. Jared Kraft's making a strong role. Canty's playing a strong role for us right now on the D-line. We got some really talented freshmen right now, and we talked about being able to get them some work so when we got into the conference they were ready to play. And with Paul Turner being out for this game, and then with Blake Martin being out for this game, that really opened up a big window for a guy like Jared Kraft and Marcus Gaines to go out there and play a stronger role, because then Carlos went out probably about halfway through the third quarter, and Marcus had to play from there, and I thought he did a nice job. But a lot of those freshmen are really stepping up and watching their growth and their maturity, having a month of camp and then 6 weeks of the season. They're getting more and more ready to play a prominent role for us.
The timing of this bye week probably could not come at a better time for y'all as far as nicks and bumps go.
Yes, agreed. It's been a hard 6 weeks. It's been 6 straight weeks, and we talked. There's a lot been written and a lot said about the first 5 games, with 4 of them being on the road, 2 top 5 teams, 13 days. First 3 games on the road, and we've put challenges. Every challenge we put in front of this team, they have answered it, and just really proud of the way they came out and played.
Last week, don't know what it was, Monday, Wednesday, can't remember. But when you said that last Sunday when you met with the staff, and you talked about what you learned in the first 5 days and how first 5 games, and how good you can be if you play for potential. Mm-hmm. Was this what the true potential of this team is?
Yes. I mean, obviously we're coaches. We always want more. I mean, there's always a play here or there. We felt like we could have done more. But, what we talked about in this game, we didn't come in. We've talked about some of the foolish mistakes that we've made and how we've shot ourselves in the foot. But we came into this game and didn't talk about do this, do this, do this, do this. This was one, you know what? let's play hard for 60 minutes. Let's play passionate, intense, emotional football for 60 minutes. And if we can do that, let the chips fall where they may. And if we make a mistake, forget it. Go to the next play and go play it. But I thought this is the best game we've put together from the beginning to the end on the season.
Anything else? It's kind of an obvious question, but how important was this game? I mean, if you lose, you have a 3-game losing streak into a bye, and you have to sit on that for a week.
Yep.
Obviously, a big morale boost. Now you can go in to the bye 2-0 conference.
Agreed. I mean, it was a big game. I mean, it was a big game, and it's a conference game. You know, that's what we've been stressing, and we talked about after 5 games. It's a new season. We got to find a way to go 1-0 this week, and this team did that. And then we'll go into the bye week and try and get some guys healthy and try and get some guys some work, so we'll be ready for this second run. But yeah, I thought it was a big game, and there was some pressure on this game to come out here and perform, and that's why I'm so proud of these players for the way that they went out there, the way they competed, and the way they got things done on the field. You know, just the way they competed from top to bottom, I thought was fun to watch.
Carlos had 3 touches for a whopping 127 yards. You can just touch on his ability to pretty much step in for Paul and not really miss a beat there.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice when you start to have some of that depth and to have him as a freshman and Marcus Gaines behind him as a freshman and to see what those guys are doing. But, you know, Carlos can run. I mean, that's what Carlos can run, and he's a special player. He's still got to get better at some things, and he's got to work every day to keep polishing some parts of his game up. But he is a very talented young man, and that was evident by what he was able to do tonight. But I know he'll be the first one to tell you he still has a lot of things that he's got to work on to get better, to be an every down player, and he's getting better every week.
Aside from the missed field goal, the special teams pretty much, you know, the block field goal, the punt returns, a lot of them Trent.
Yes.
You know, 15, 20 yards almost seemed like every time. Best game the special teams has played. I feel like every week we're always talking about how
our special. This was far and away the best game. I mean, not even close. Far and away the best game our special teams has played. Our cover teams, our return teams, the way we kicked the ball, I thought they really did a nice job.